And I remember there was a moment where I looked in the mirror and I said, "This is your face." After I'd shaved all my hair off myself, I looked in the mirror and I said to myself, "This is your face, this is who you are, and none of that's going to change. So here's the time that we start to love yourself." So that happened after I attempted suicide at 16. And a social worker came into my life, and she gave me a book called The Mindful Way Through Depression. And that, like, I didn't know the seeds she was planting in me, but I mean, how many years? Almost 15 years later, I teach mindfulness and I help people on their journey. But that 16-year-old self was when the journey really started.
I feel like for me it happened in like segments. So like I remember being able to love my hair, and then that being like a liberatory experience is the closest thing that I can think of to describe it. And then I came out as queer really young, like I was 14. And as soon as I was like, oh yeah, cool, I'm with it. It took probably like 24 hours. I was like, okay, so now I need to make space in the world for myself in this way. And then as I learned to love small parts of myself little by little in the last, I'd say maybe like 12 years, I feel like that's been my journey.
In deep lows and high highs, it's been like recognizing the ways that just how deeply entrenched the things society tells us about ourselves is in me. I'm trying to be patient with myself. I'm recognizing that this journey is a journey that's gonna take forever.
And self-love was kind of my way to clean that up and look at why is it that I have like this very deeply ingrained practice of keeping things within myself. And so when self-love became a conscious thought process that I decided to act upon, it looked like a lot of different things.
I've always been someone who's always worried about the people in my life and loving them really well, and as a result not loving myself enough, and then thinking about the fact that if I'm not loving myself enough, then the love that I'm giving is not really the best kind of love I can give. So I think the yoga and the doula work really provided me with a space to understand how much both movement, whether it be yoga or other kinds of movement, or stretching, and meditation, because meditation is something that I practice especially when I'm going into birth support situations and work, were crucial for me. I think also dancing, I love to dance. And I grew up studying a really rigid and beautiful but very structured form of South Indian dance called Bharatanatyam. And that was a really beautiful kind of dance to learn for discipline, which I think I needed at that time. But then I found soca music, and I found just like other ways of freeing up my body and moving that were outside of the kind of rigid format of dance that I learned. And so really learning to move my hips and like move my arms and let my body just be free through dance became a really beautiful space of self-love for me, and growth and ownership over my body and reclamation over my body.
My self-love and like self-appreciation looks a lot like taking care of my body. I identify my body as like a place that's gone through a lot, like from like outside trauma to trauma like I've inflicted on myself. So just like going to the gym and seeing what my body can do instead of punishing it for what it can't.
Being healthy, laughing and smiling, not letting the things of the world get to me.
What has been super, super helpful for me has been crafting. I'm a crafty queer, and making art specifically, and like finding ways to create tangible products that can reflect the things that are inside of my pressure cooker have been super, super useful ways for me to think about what it is to love myself.
Self-love to me looks like cooking. I love to cook. Being so meticulous about something and being so in control about something.
Making time to be with people is a form of self-love for me, which I struggle with because it's like I've always been a person that will prioritize socializing or like hanging out with people or like listening to someone for 3 hours over things that I need to do. But that to me is also self-love. Like caring for someone is caring for myself.
Self-love in daily life. Self-love in daily life is breathing, it's meditating, it's taking the time to take care of my plants, it's taking the time to have a shower and just be in the shower. It's taking the time to dance with my son. It's taking the time even to just love. Not only love myself, but love other people. Sometimes we talk about trusting love through people, but as I'm getting older, I'm realizing trusting the universe and its way of guiding and loving and taking you down paths that are narrow and wide. It's building that relationship of love and trust with the universe.
Trust is real. I think that we have to really forgive and let things go. And I think in our society we tend to we're actually taught to hate. We're taught to react and to be angry, and that's not how things really should be.
Me, trusting love looks like being deeply afraid, like absolute terror, and doing it anyway.
My name is Randy Mae Stanford Leibold, and I am a mom. I am a business person. I'm a lover of life.
My name is Chris, Saja Richard, if you really care to know. I'm 25, almost 26. I'm a Leo, but like more Pisces Leo.
Hi, my name is Pascal. I am an activist, a freelance writer, and an equity and social media consultant.
My name is Tumaini, and I like to introduce myself by saying that I am East African by blood, and I dwell here on these lands by circumstance.
Naini Thiagraja. I am a writer, director, producer for film and television. I work as a yoga teacher, a hatha yoga teacher, and I'm also a full spectrum doula. All the work really focused on healing, whether it be through traditional healing arts or artistic creative practice.
Hey, my name is Tracy. I am just a young person figuring out life day by day.
My name is Judy Lopez. I am a artist, dancer, community engager, producer, artistic director.